Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. And the reason why I'm poking at my ear is because I'm trying to get my microphone all sorted. So anyway, welcome to the show, and we're going to have a lovely show because, as always, we will have two readers that will call in, and I'm going to be doing free readings. So I hope you're listening and enjoying this video. So before I get started, I always like to sort of do a little sort of talk, and my talk today is I was reading this piece that I've got here, and I'll read it to you. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And that was written in the Bible in Jeremiah 29:11. And one thing I think about that, I'd like to talk about that specifically. And I think that, yes, God does have a plan for us. Yes, he is around us. And yes, there is a path that we are asked to sort of walk upon. But we also have free will, and that free will is vital. And so when they're giving guidance, they can give guidance in a very, very positive way, and they can talk about the path and talk about what can happen to you and what they're going to do to help you. But at any point, you can make a decision and say, no, I don't want that. So it is always a path that is open to your free will, but it is a path that God and all his helpers are willing to steer you on, are willing to help you achieve your goals and what you came here for, which I think is quite sort of quite incredible, really, when you think that you're not alone on this path. You are getting help and you are getting guidance. And the wonderful thing about shows like this is we are able to connect, and we are able to sort of give you that guidance and help you on your path and steer you in the right direction. And sometimes the very person that comes through is the very person that needs the help. And so because I do think that spirits always have a sort of helping hand in who comes through and who gets connected to one of the readers that are working, which I think is it's interesting what goes on behind the scenes. In other words, so, sort of, it's never sort of just as simple as we're getting on with our lives. There is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, and that is with God. So I know that we're going to have sort of a couple of callers, and I'm just waiting for the callers to come through. But before we sort of actually get to the first caller, the other thing that I would like to talk about is, I wonder, sort of, we just had sort of Easter, and Easter has been sort of extraordinarily different for a lot of us. A lot of the times that we would have enjoying Easter and being out and about, and it's very different for us in all parts of the world where we are ostensibly on a lockdown and are restricted in sort of how often we can go out and about and what we can do. And I think that this is sort of in a way it's sort of quite a sort of a sad sort of situation, because it's a necessary situation, of course it is, but I think it's a sad situation, because I think about those people that perhaps are suffering from depression as a result of this, or perhaps are in sort of physical violence as a result of this, or their drinking or their drug use, or all those sort of things that can be exacerbated as a result of isolation and that sort of difficulty. So my heart sort of goes out to that. The other thing that I am very proud of is the hospitals around the world, and the doctors and the nurses, and what they're doing to help us, and putting their lives in at risk as they go in the front line, and they're helping people survive and treat lives, because people are recovering. It's not automatically a death sentence to the coronavirus. People are recovering, and more people are recovering than passing. But nevertheless, it is a difficult virus that we are dealing with, and I think I just have to sort of thank everyone out there for being willing to sort of play their part in this, play their part in helping others survive, helping others, helping the hospitals cope with the extent of the people that are coming through their doors, helping people, sort of helping us all get back to where we want to be, and that's sort of away from this lockdown, away from this virus, and away, living our lives. So I want to thank you all for playing your part, because we are all playing a part in helping all of us get together and beat this virus. So well done, all of you. So I want to go to my first caller, and I believe it is Tabitha in Lancaster, California. Are you there, Tabitha?
Yes.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Have you ever had a reading before, Tabitha?
No.
Oh, I felt that you hadn't, and that's why I asked. So I'm a medium, and how it works is I can either connect to a loved one in spirit for you, or I can go to my guides and look for guidance for you. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
Spiritual, please.
And is there somebody that you'd like me to connect with?
I just want to see if my cousin comes through.
Your cousin, okay. Well, I generally, it hasn't failed me yet. If somebody asks for somebody particular, I can generally get them, but I'm sure there'll come a time when it does fail me. Right, okay. Would I be right in saying your cousin is female that we're talking about?
No, it's a male.
Okay.
I have two males that just passed away.
Two, okay. Did one of them have sort of fairly longish hair?
Yes.
And I saw the long hair, and I thought, it feels, I saw the long, this is how it happened for me, Tabitha. I saw the long hair, and I thought, this feels like a male, but I've got sort of like female hair, and I wasn't sure which way I was. It confused me initially, but
yes.
But I feel that's the one that has stepped forward. Is that the one that you're particularly looking to hear from?
Him and my cousin Merle.
Sorry?
Yes.
Okay. He's I feel that I feel like he's got a ball, and he's sort of and I feel like he's playing with a ball at the moment, and he makes me feel like he sort of enjoyed that there's a sort of sporting element to him. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And he makes me feel like he enjoyed sort of being quite fit and having sort of, he was quite sort of active as a person. And I also get the feeling that he was quite an artistic sort of person. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And when I say artistic, would it be literally art, painting, or?
Yeah, he created like stickers.
Because I feel like he's very, very creative and artistic, and I feel that also that he was quite ambitious as well. He had high hopes for where his thing was going to take him and where he would get to. And and I get the feeling that that this is something that's happened to him that almost like wasn't expected to happen. It doesn't feel, it feels like with him that he didn't mean for this to happen. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, you're talking about my dad.
Oh, am I? Okay, so I've got your dad.
Yeah, it's my dad. He was autistic and he committed suicide.
Right. Okay. And then we're like, I felt suicide, but I also feel that it didn't want it to happen. It was because he's telling me that it's a mistake. He's making me feel like it was an accident, and he's got huge regrets for not sort of fulfilling his life and carrying on with his life. And he's saying to me that, were you still a young person when he passed?
Yes, I was 9 months old.
Okay, because I feel like you're a child, as I, and he's saying to me that there's never a day that goes past that he regrets this decision to not be there as your father, and he feels like he has massively let you down. Do you have a brother as well?
Yes.
Because he's drawing my attention to a brother, and he's telling me that he feels guilty for your brother as well. He's also telling me that he worries about your brother. Would you understand why he would be worrying about your brother?
Yeah.
Because he feels that your brother doesn't always he doesn't always help himself. He's telling me that he gets very concerned about his brother because he feels that his brother gets himself into all sorts of difficulty and gets himself into sometimes a pickle in life that he wishes that he could be there to advise and help him and get him through certain situations, because he's really worried about his brother, and this is why he's come through, because he wants to get to your brother to help him, and he's saying that your cousin, has he recently passed?
Yes.
Because he's telling me that your cousin is with him and he has helped him in the spirit world. And there is also a grandmother as well that is here with him, that is connected to him, and he's telling me that because he's also telling me that he feels that he's telling, so it's not your cousin talking, it's your father talking about your cousin, and he's saying that he feels that he almost like he didn't want to come over to spirit. He wasn't ready to get passed over, and I feel that, and he makes me feel like it's a set of circumstances that caused his passing. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And he's saying to me that he's promising you that he will look after your cousin and make sure that he's all right. And he wants to assure you that he's arrived, he's safe, and he's with us. And we're doing everything to make sure that he gets himself back on his feet. Because he's telling me it's tragic circumstances. It's circumstances that nobody would want to endure, that your cousin had to go through, and he's saying that he needs a lot of healing, and this is why he's making me feel like he needs sort of support and help in the spirit world before he starts really communicating. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
um, your dad is saying he knows that you don't know him, but he knows you. And he knows you very, very well because he's been very close to you in your life. And he's saying to me that you have a photograph of him that you keep. And so it's like you know what he looks like. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And he says that you keep it in your very personal possessions, and every now and again you look at it and you speak to the photograph saying, I wish you were here in my life. And he's there and he hears your words when you're saying that. He's also talking about a relationship that you've had that it's almost like I don't know whether this is current or in the past, but he's talking about a relationship where you did a complete U-turn. You were sort of going in and thought, oops, no, this is no good for me, and you turned and got out. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
And he said that was a wise decision. He would have been no good for you, and he's glad that you did that. And he's thanking you for calling in and for taking the plunge to speak. And I've got another caller waiting, but if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook, and my name is Gail Moffat. So do connect with me there. But I hope that helps, and know that your cousin is all right. He's safe, and your dad is in your life. So thank you very much, Tabitha.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Right. So I have Jackie in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hello, Jackie.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, and I've been to Colorado Springs. It's very nice, isn't it?
Yes. We just had a snow, so finally having a sunny day today after 2 days of snow.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. It's
yeah,
and it's very pretty, gorgeous part of the world.
Yes, it is. Yeah, thank you.
But it's a shame you can't sort of go out so much at the moment. Anyway, I'm a medium, and I can connect to loved ones in particular, or I can give guidance from my guides. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
Well, I lost my wedding ring back in June of 2018. I was pregnant at that time. I took it off to put on lotion, and I've just been looking for it ever since. I'm not sure, if it's still in the house. Was it taken in the trash? Will I ever find it? What is the likelihood? It's so dear to me, and I don't know what else I could do at this point to try to find it. So if, there's insights of anything like that, yeah.
Okay. So I have to have a little confession here. Finding things is not one of my strengths as a medium, but I have been able to achieve it from time to time, and I will certainly give it a go. So I'm just going. As I'm talking, your grandmother is coming through, and she's literally holding up a wedding ring in her hand. That's not to say it's gone into the spirit world. It's a sort of like she's showing me that she knows where it is. And she's saying to me that I get the feeling firstly, I feel that it's in the house, and I feel that I'm drawn to a sofa in your home. Which do you think you would have taken it off around the sofa and you're sitting down?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, I know I usually normally take it off on the sofa, but that day specifically I was in the bedroom. But I mean, it could have been, I've been everywhere that same day. I was doing a client's hair, and I could have taken it off, and then I went somewhere, and then, so it's just, I did a lot of things that day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 years
she
ago.
keeps on drawing me. She keeps on drawing me to a sofa, and I feel that I need to pull it out completely and look around a sofa or a chair. It's either a sofa or a chair because I'm only seeing a section of it, and
okay.
And she's saying to me that almost like she's put white light around this wedding ring, so it's sort of protected. But what she's saying to me, it is in the house. You haven't lost it. It's there. And I feel, is it a diamond? Is there a diamond on the wedding ring? And
yes.
Is it a solitaire?
Lots of diamonds on it. Huh? What was that?
It's got diamonds on it, did you say?
Yes, there's diamonds on them. It's a flower shape diamond ring and then a band.
Oh, it's my favorite sort of wedding ring. Oh.
Yeah.
So I know, I just get that feeling that there is like there is definitely a sort of white light that has gone round it. And I feel like your grandmother has placed this energy around it. And she says that she's going to guide you to find this wedding ring. I don't know why I'm being drawn to the sofa particularly, but I am. And I don't know if that's because you quite often will take it off around the sofa, but I just get that strong feeling that she's telling me that you will find it, and it is in the home, and you haven't lost it. And she's guiding you to find this ring.
This is my mom, my dad's mother.
I feel this is your dad's.
My dad.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, your dad's mother.
Yes.
Would that make sense why she would come through?
Yes. Yeah, she passed a while before I even knew her.
Right. Okay. She's telling me that she's quite an astute woman, and she didn't suffer. We have an expression in England: "Suffer fools gladly." And she's telling me that she didn't suffer fools gladly. She was quite sort of astute about how people were, and she says that she hasn't changed that character. She still is like that, and I feel like there's a reason why she's saying this, about her character, because I feel like it's pertaining to somebody that's in your life that she is wary of. And she feels is not being true to you, and I feel like it's a friend. Would that make sense to you? So I feel that this is a friend, and I feel also that yes. So she's sort of saying to me that just almost like be careful. Because this person is not sincere and doesn't have your sort of best interests at heart. I'm also, she's talking about your father, and she makes me feel that she wants to talk about your father, and she says that she almost like had a sort of quite a challenged life. And as a consequence, your father didn't have like an easy upbringing, and she's making me feel as though she has a lot of guilt about that, because that your father then there was an impact on yourself in your life, because your father had a sort of vulnerability about him because of his upbringing. Would that make sense to you, Jackie?
Yes.
Okay. And she's saying she's apologizing to you because as a result of her actions, you haven't had it easy with your father. And she's saying to me that she really wants to put things right and really wants to help you in your life because she feels she owes that to you, and she owes it to you to put things right because of her actions historically not being so sort of, you know, positive or good. And she's saying to me that also, do you have a daughter?
No, I don't have a daughter yet. I just have two boys.
Okay. Okay, because I'm seeing, would she have a granddaughter somewhere in the family?
Yes, she has two granddaughters, or great granddaughters.
Okay, I'm being drawn to and I feel like this is a young child, very young, sort of like a, you know, sort of, yeah, very, very young child. And I just get that, and I get that feeling that she's talking about this child and saying to me that there is almost like there's an interesting future for this girl, and that she is going to go on to do some great things in the world, and she's very excited to give you this information and let you know what's going to be happening, because she's just very excited about it. And she's saying that it's almost like she's going to be quite famous in the world and be known for what she's able to do. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if she ends up with a... Pardon?
Who is it? Who's the girl?
And I also get the feeling that she's going to have a really good voice, and I feel like she may be a singer. But I feel like it's not going to be a usual singer, like, you know, pop, or, you know, it's going to be a singing with a difference with her. But she's telling me that, you know, watch out for her because she's going to be have an incredible life ahead of her.